This is the Weigh In Podcast by Benoit Chestnut.
And so that's Romero.
Now, to update you, our fans, on why we haven't been around in a while, one of the two things we've been doing is we've been working on getting our Spotify going, getting us up on there,
Yeah,
really showing so that you can listen to it in the car or on your way walking, jogging, running. You can get the daily dose, not daily, but weekly dose of the Weigh In Podcast.
yes, we've been doing all of that. We've been working hard. And yes, we're sorry we can't film a lot, but it doesn't matter. We're going to keep filming every day and try to film at least one video per week. We're going to keep filming. We're going to get the TikTok better. We're going to get everything better so we can get verified and become the best that we can.
Yeah, so piggybacking off of that, as we're going to put out, we have a TikTok, we don't use it, we have not posted to it, but we will start posting to it and getting on that
Yeah,
TikTok. And we will start handling better our Twitter, getting you guys updates when there's a fight going on, getting you
exactly.
that live by live verdict and update what's going on when we're there, or even if we're not there and we're watching. We're going to
Mm-hmm.
make sure we get all of that to you. We're going to start posting more on our Twitter and tweeting more and getting out and breaking a lot of that news first that we can break that news first. Being we came here
Yeah.
to let you guys know we are going to better internally what goes on between the podcast so that you guys, the viewers, can get a lot of better stuff going around. And that's just my put back on the piggyback of what's going on between the Weigh In podcast. Anything else you would like to add, co-host Sebastian?
Not really. What I do want to say is that yeah, like Chester was saying, we're always gonna keep doing stuff. And if you don't always see us together, let's say he's filming by himself for the podcast, or I still, don't worry, because no matter what, we're still always gonna keep filming together. But because we work and we have a lot of things to do, it's hard. So sometimes he'll film by himself this podcast, or I will, or we'll film together. But we're gonna keep trying to film together because I think filming together as best friends is the better thing to do for this podcast.
Yeah, so I will piggyback off of what he said. He is 100% right. If there's a week that, there may be a week, we're going to try to not make it 2 weeks, but there may be a week you may just see Sebastian or you may just see me because there's going to be times where we cannot meet up with each other, but one or the other will communicate through each other to say, listen,
Mhm.
are you going to do the episode? Or are you doing the episode? So we can get you guys out an episode that week, which will be a really great thing for you guys to be able to still see. So
Yeah.
if he's done on the update, I know I'm done on the update. We'll jump right in.
Yeah. So start with that episode.
So let's jump right in. In the world of boxing, there have been some crazy fights going down lately to the Tyson Fury loss all the way up to this weekend's Javante Davis and Frank Martin. And the newly adjudged thing, days last week or between this week, it has been posted and said by MVP, most valuable promotion of Jake Paul, that there may be the possibility, if not already have been done, the postponing of Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. With being
Yeah.
that said, I do think it is going to be a marquee matchup. It is going to be a lot of things going on. There is going to be a lot of things going left and right. I think in the past couple of weeks and months, there have been some great fights. I think Viva Mexico, Saul Canelo Alvarez tore through Munguia. He tore right through Jaime Munguia. I think it showed. There, as Oscar De La Hoya said, a changing of the guard. There was no changing of the guard that night. There was only a true show classman of the
Mhm.
king of boxing, Saul Canelo Alvarez.
And yes, that fight was good with Canelo Monvilla. Canelo, you could tell that he has a big heart. When you do mess with him, he does mess with you, but he also has a big heart. He fought Munguia, who was like 27 years old, so young, and Canelo was his big role model. And for Munguia to fight him, it was a big opportunity. And when they both fought, the fight was so good. It was crazy. I love seeing it. But Canelo gave so much respect to this kid because Canelo could have knocked him out in any single round from 1 to 12. You could see that there's times that Munguia couldn't fight and Canelo kept hugging him just so he doesn't fall to the ground. Canelo gave him so much respect that he wouldn't knock him out because he wants to give credit to a fellow Mexican fighter who Munguia is going to be when he grows up and keeps getting better at boxing. But Canelo, he could have knocked him out anytime in any round. But I love that he had a heart and he didn't do it because he wanted more from Munguia and his Mexican career as a boxer.
Yeah, I think great things said all there that it was a great fight between Canelo and Munguia. I think the big looming thing coming out of the corner of Canelo is this next fight he may schedule. We talked about this before, that Canelo Crawford matchup. And I think if we're coming to a Canelo Crawford matchup, it is going to be easy. Let's break it down on all fronts. We have the true craftsmanship of Saul Canelo Alvarez, that is a really good boxer, but you have the precision punch by Crawford. I think it is going to be
Exactly.
a really interesting thing because Crawford, when he fought Spence, he tore through Spence. It was a fight that many thought Spence was going to win. He tore through Spence. Now, if he goes up against, a craftsmanship of Canelo, I do think that there is something to be said about Crawford. Crawford stands a chance in the ring against Canelo. That's the way I believe it. I will always say Canelo's a great fighter. I'm a great fan of Canelo. You know, he does amazing things, but Crawford showed when he fought Earl Spence Jr. that Crawford was easily one of the players in the game. Undisputed two-weight class is definitely a player in the game, and it's one thing we look at and we should say to ourselves, is Crawford seriously the guy to start messing up weight class after weight class? And I will tell you right now on the weigh-in podcast, yes, Crawford is.
Yes, as he was saying, Crawford, the way I've seen him fight, he's a crazy beast, my man. Crawford fights and knocks his opponents down, just like Canelo does where he does. But Crawford, Canelo, they're both great fighters. But as I see, for me, I love Canelo in my heart and Crawford too. I think Crawford, Canelo, and both Crawford are boy on the next level. They could be anybody. But the good thing with Crawford is that Crawford could go up a weight class and win. While when Canelo went up, Canelo lost and couldn't get the other belt. So I think Crawford has an advantage on Canelo if they fight. And Crawford will probably take that Mexican down and show him that the pride is better with the Crawford family.
Well, I don't know. As Crawford always says, it's crawfish season. But I think, all being said, truly there is a time when it's crawfish season and it is a lot of things. So being a looming in the sports world, a lot of things going on, a lot of things shaking up. Boxing has had some big shakeups, marquee matchups. We will touch a little bit for some of our viewers that have just wanted us to bring this up. Oklahoma State Cowboys. I don't know if Sebastian kept up with the news, but I will give it to him here first so you could get this reaction on the podcast. Oklahoma State Cowboys have hired David Taylor as the new head wrestling coach for the Okie State Cowboys. And I think right here on the Weigh In podcast, we're going to coin our phrase here. That was probably the greatest move they could have made to back up John Smith. They have now a legend who David Taylor is a college wrestling legend, great wrestler, multiple wins, tough guy. You didn't see him lose much, world and Olympic champ. Now you're going to have that guy at the college level where he brings Thomas Gilman with him. The famous thing about Thomas Gilman is years ago, Flow Wrestling interviewed him, and he was in the wrestling room of the Oklahoma State Cowboys, and he said, I don't remember exactly, but he says, no, I know you guys wanted to get the wrestling room shot, but you don't turn your back towards the enemy. And now he is coaching over there, which now tells you the enemy is no longer the enemy. The enemy has now become the ally for Thomas Gilman. And I think it's due partisan to mention a lot of that stuff going on in the world of looming of wrestling that is going on. And we just wanted to touch a little bit on that in that, could you see that Okie State Cowboy team knock off the Miracle Penn State? Yeah, they got the coaching staff. They got David Taylor. They've got Thomas Gilman. A lot of people think we've been hearing some rumors, possibly. We don't know if these are true, but possibly could David Taylor go? Not David Taylor, but could Kyle Dake go over there and join that coaching staff over there, and to see another highly accoladed wrestler like Kyle Dake, four-time NCAA national champ in 4 different weight classes. That's not an easy thing. And that's
Mm-hmm.
one of those things that you say, like, wow, this is really something that could be monumental for the sport of wrestling. The shakeup is crazy. And then you see Rutgers native, New Jersey native, Rutgers native, started at Rutgers, great wrestler, Anthony Ashnault, now an assistant coach over at Princeton. Can you believe that? So now even Princeton getting themselves a nice wrestler. Ashnault heading over to Princeton, taking his talents over to Princeton University, and that's going to possibly shake up. Princeton's probably going to have a couple good groups that are coming out of that with some great wrestling. And one thing, we're going to move on from the wrestling thing, and this is our special shout out to our boy Jean Pierre Paul getting ready to make his professional debut this weekend.
The
The
Gudo
professional,
sign.
it is going to be his professional debut to be on RSP Boxing in main event, and this is going to be good. We've been around JP, very well, high respected amateur, really good at what he does. Great boxer. Now going professional this weekend, June 8th. Gonna be great. Gonna be great. It's gonna be amazing. It is something that I sit there and I say this is an amazing thing. Now, just to deviate just a small percentage, but we will go back to that JP fight nor this weekend. Emmanuel Rodriguez was supposed to also fight this weekend and had to pull from his bout. And we want to have our thoughts out with Emmanuel Rodriguez and him to hope he has a speedy recovery. Because I will say this, we coined the phrase first, we posted it. He was going to take his opponent's O. That O was going, it was going to be gone. Emmanuel Rodriguez is a skilled classman in the ring, and that guy was going to lose. It was not if, it was a matter of when. And he escaped. I hope that Emmanuel comes back, and when he
Mm-hmm.
does come back, that he comes back and he gets that belt and he
Yeah.
sure takes that O, because Emmanuel Rodriguez is a skilled craftsman. We had the pleasure of meeting him for one of his fights, and it is truly a spectacle. It is a spectacle when Emmanuel Rodriguez fights. It's filled with a lot of people. They like to see him fight. It is a spectacle. The other day on social media, I saw a video of boxing. It reminded me of Emmanuel with his son. I saw a video where the little kid, a guy was going to box, and the little kid had the same shorts as his father. He had the little shorts as his father and the same pair of gloves. And when I saw that, it reminded me of Emmanuel Rodriguez and his son. I said, his son, when he shows up to the fights, he's like his father. He's ambitious. He's ready to go. And I think that's amazing to see things like that. That's wholesome, heartfelt stuff that we love to see. We expect a speedy recovery for, well, not speedy, but a good recovery for him so that he can get back to the ring for Emmanuel Rodriguez. And we love to hear he's always a great fighter. Great thing to be out there. We're gonna mention our boy that has been on here before, Daniel Gonzalez. He went down and he tore through his opponent months ago. We were in our time of not being able to catch each other to record, but he tore through his opponent, tore through him. Guy did not know what hit him, tore right through his guy. Danny did exactly what he needed to do. And we'll bring up another one of our guys. Jose Nueves went all the way down and tore through his guy. Like, the video is on YouTube. I encourage you to watch that fight. Like, when he went and hit his guy, immediately he went down on one knee, and it showed Jose Nueves, good things to be said about him. I'm sure that there's going to be a world title for him. There's going to be something coming for him, because you line the guys up and they can't beat him. They can't beat him. So, good things going to be said. You know, it is going to be really good things said, and all the world of boxing, there's a lot of good things to be said about our guys. We always follow our guys like Daniel Gonzalez, Emmanuel Rodriguez, Jose Nueves, and
Exactly.
and one of our guys that we used to go to a lot of his fights, Sebastian. I'm gonna sincerely apologize if I get his name wrong, but Sebastian Caracas. If I am I saying that right, Sebastian? I know you know his name better than I am.
Yes, but before you do talk about him, I want to go back to what you were saying before. Yes, JP Valencia is fighting on
Yes, let's
Saturday,
go.
June
Yes,
June
go
8th.
back to JP.
He Junte Valencia, he's an Ecuadorian fighter from Ecuador, and he's fighting his professional fight June 8th in Alaska City. So I hope you guys watch it. It's gonna be great. And shout out to him because he's such a great fighter. And then go up to you, JP, and hopefully we could get to another vlog here. And then also for Sassarino, who's Emmanuel, I hope you feel better, you recover, buddy, and then you can fight. And then for Danny, Danny, we love you. You're awesome. We can't wait for your next fight. You're gonna do great. And also for Jose Nuevez, when we see you fight in Colombia, wherever you're fighting next, keep us updated because we need to do a video with you. And yeah, Celeste Caracas, that's his name.
Yeah, so we're gonna give it out to him. He's still doing. He was when we used to see him fight. I'm sorry we had to do a cut. Anything we cut out, we're gonna give to you viewers as in the end as the bonus extra. All our laughing, our we try to start it multiple times. Let's go the weigh in. We're gonna bring you all that extra content because
But
you
no,
need it.
well, I talked with Sergio Caracas. He told me he wanted to be like Danny Gonzalez, another boxer. We know. And I told Sergio, I'm like, listen, Sergio, I'm like, you're never gonna be good as Danny because Danny Gonzalez is another weight class as you. And Danny's gonna be the best you can. I'm like, Sergio Caracas, don't be like Danny Gonzalez. Be your own self. Yes, Danny already has a profession and he's better, but don't worry about being Danny. Be yourself. You're Sergio Caracas, you're Ecuadorian. Worry about your weight class and always be good. Because like I told him, he's good. Yes, he loses because he's emotional and stuff. But throughout when he gets rid of being emotional and stuff, Sebastian's gonna be good. And like I told Sebastian, I'm like, listen, don't worry. You're gonna be good one day, but don't focus on being like Canelo or Danny or anybody else. Focus on you being the boxer and the better boxer. Just work on yourself. Don't worry about nobody else. That's why I don't like when people start saying, "Oh, I want to be like Canelo. I want to be like Mayweather." Why do you want to be like those people? Those people became famous because they have the boxing careers. You work on yourself like me. I'm a boxer. They call me the Grand Reaper, and me, I don't want to be another boxer. I just want to be the Ecuadorian boxer, me and I am. I'm working on my career, and I'm gonna be me as a boxer, worrying about myself. I'm not gonna be like Canelo or them because that's another person. I only can worry about myself and be a good boxer myself. So that's what I tell everybody. Always, when you want to be a boxer, be yourself and be a best boxer. Don't worry about being Canelo Mayweather because that's not going to happen. They have boxers in their weight classes. They're good. But if you want to be a boxer, you want to be better with them. Yes, you could be better with them. So focus on yourself. Don't worry about anybody else because when you're a boxer, you gotta focus on yourself, not be emotional. Always keep fighting because being a boxer is a big part in life. If you want to be a boxer or a football player or baseball or whatever you want to be, just stay focused and work on what you do. Like I always say, if you work hard and the grind don't stop, you always work hard. So if you want to be a boxer, like this video is about, be a boxer and always be a lot. And Fresh Girl, because if you're watching this, we want to do a video for you. We want to see how good you're succeeding in life. So let's pass it back to Bella Testament.
NCAA national champion Spencer Lee. It was once said that Spencer Lee never kept a second place medal. He always threw it out. And we're not trying to say what Sebastian's doing is bad. We're not trying to say dispel, a lot of people when you lose, you felt, you feel that something has happened and you want to move on from it. If for an instant somebody loses and not want to stay an event or somewhere is them wanting to just process, I lost, okay, I took second, that's okay. That is
Yeah.
one thing that's okay to be done. And in regards to what Sebastian's saying about being yourself, we will go into what we're gonna bring in a segment right now is it's okay to look up to somebody. So I will always turn this in terms of boxing and then wrestling because that are what our most of our viewers are. So I will break it down for our viewers. So I will break this down into the sense of boxing and wrestling because those are our two sports that most of our viewers are from. But I can easily translate that to any other sport. because I have done most of sports, watched most of sports, but I can translate it. So being said, if in wrestling sense, if Spencer Lee has a beautiful outside single, and you say, I want to be Spencer Lee, you want to be Spencer Lee because he shoots a beautiful outside single. You want to
Mm-hmm.
be able to shoot that same single as he does and be able to perform it at a level that he does. You don't want to quote unquote be Spencer in every aspect and way. You want to be the
Mm-hmm.
level of performance that athlete is and as good as that athlete is on performance. So one of the first things we sit there and say is, I want to be, you know, I want to be Spencer, or I want to be this. So what I'm telling you is, in the sport of boxing, like, let's say there's this nice thing that Canelo does when he punches. In some of
Yes.
his fights, you can see it. He will fake his other punch. Some people might want to fake the other punch. Those are like tips and tricks. Tips and tricks like that are great, but sometimes you want to be who you are. You don't always want to be, for instance, you could be training next to your training partner. He could go on, and let's say he goes out and he wins a tournament, a boxing or wrestling.
Uh-huh.
He wins a tournament, and you're like, I want to be like him. He won the tournament. What you do is, maybe that kid didn't get a state title, or that kid didn't place a state. You set your
Uh-huh.
goals not to be better each other. The quote that we do, it's not our quote. In no way, shape, or form do we say it's our quote, but iron sharpens iron. Iron sharpens iron means that if you're alongside of a guy, you're going to make each other better. You surround yourself with the people that will make you better. If
Exactly.
you surround yourself with a guy that's always jealous and says, I want to beat you at a tournament, I'm going to be better than you, I'm going to be better than you are. There's healthy levels of competition. And that would be considered sometimes, to most professionals. We are not professionals in any way. I do have to say that, so that nobody, we're not claiming to be professionals in athletic performance or in athlete performance or in mental health. We are not. So one thing we say is, if a guy's saying he wants to be better than you, and he says, oh, I'm better than you, that's great, but he's got to do it, or you should always make sure it's done at a level where it's healthy competition, where he's sharpening you
Exactly.
for good iron. Not to the point where
Yeah.
he went and learned a move, or he went and learned something from a boxer, and then he doesn't come to you and say, yo, you know what I learned the other day? He said we should be doing this. And instead going and not telling you that, sometimes maybe he's not helping you sharpen your iron. Maybe iron is not sharpening iron in a situation like that. And sometimes you want to always be able to help your drilling partner and make him as good as you, because that's the guy that helps you drill. That's the guy that spars
Yeah.
you. You want him to be just as good so he can challenge you when you spar, and you can challenge each other when you spar. And that's the great thing about the way it goes when we mean about, you want to be yourself. You want to establish yourself. You want to have your own moves. You want to have your own stuff. You want to do your own things. You want to be your own self. You want to always do
Hell
your
yeah.
own things. You don't want to always say, I copied that guy. I copied that guy. I got what shoes he's wear. I got the same boxing gloves he has. No, you want to put yourself through where you don't always do something like that. Where you go, you do something, you put this, you put that. That's what you go, and that's what you do. You don't always do the same thing that you are set out to do.
Exactly.
So, as in, this is great.
Bro.
We brought to you yet another weigh-in, and many of you might not understand why Sebastian is messing around with the party favors. And that is because on Monday, this is supposed to be and will be posted tomorrow. So you guys are going to get it Friday. So on Monday, I would have turned 24. So now he's playing jokes on that. So you can tell between us, this is a fun thing going through the weigh in. And what we will also say at the end, which I will give you, is we're going to start adding in at the end of our videos the bloopers, because if we added in all the different bloopers of when we recorded, we would have so much stuff to make you guys laugh. And we try to get started because it was something said to me, through one of the days, oh, when you guys, somebody said to me, when you guys do the way and you're perfect when you do what you do. No, we're going to start posting the bloopers to
Uh-huh.
say it's okay to not be perfect. And that's what we're saying. So we're going to post our bloopers to show you guys everything is not perfect. There's a bunch of laughing. There's a bunch of stuff. We might even do the blooper as you know what? I think we'll roll out our bloopers possibly through our TikTok. No, we could roll the bloopers out possibly on our TikTok, if not on all forms of social media. But if one thing, we will roll our bloopers through TikTok at the most. Possibly, we'll make
Exactly.
sure we're getting something up on TikTok. We'll probably put our bloopers up on TikTok or maybe
Yeah.
YouTube as our YouTube Shorts tab. So be on the lookout for our bloopers coming out of just all our mess ups, and maybe we might even try to we're going to build those bloopers possibly into at the end, an intro. They're going to become a big part of this because foremost for us, we're laughing kind of guys. We're laughing kind of guys. So bring it over. This is the weigh in. This is
And
our
also,
episode.
I know you done yet. Anyway. And before we do wrap it up until we film the next one, when we do post it, everybody comment happy birthday Benoit. Give him the biggest celebration there is. Give him a W. Give him anything you want.
Some Gatorade, we always
So
have
go,
Ghost with us. We always have a Ghost. I got one
go,
sitting by me right here.
and go
We're
finish sponsor us
saying
one day.
to do healthy, not healthy, but we're saying to do good choices when he means drink. I do have to say that because we do have some of our viewers that sit down with their parents and they're gonna look at us and say, okay, weighing boys, you're getting a little.
But keep going with yes, drink goes, drink Gary, drink everything. Because we're talking about boxing and sports, and when I mean drinking, I'm talking about
We want to
goes,
hydrate.
Gary, hydrate, and talking about that, always hydrate so you can fight and be a better boxer, whatever you are. But yeah, everybody comment in the scripture, happy birthday, Benoit. So he's got the best birthday. He's 20, 40 years old, and that's gonna be awesome. So the big 24, and he's gonna have a great birthday. And we might also film a vlog here for his birthday. We still gotta talk about it, and we're just gonna keep filming every day, and we'll keep updating you. Comment below or reach us in our Instagram. So this episode, everybody, I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was something about me and Benoit coming back and filming something for this way because we have to take it seriously and keep recording, and we finally did. And this is a great video. We're gonna keep trying to record once a week so we can give you guys context, and then we're gonna keep upgrading from there and posting more on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, everything we have. And we're gonna keep being better and better and better. So everybody, like I always say, stay positive, always want to self focus on your boxing career or whatever you want to do. And this is the Wayne podcast, and we're gonna be back next time. And this is Sylvester Romero, and